Would I be the a-hole if I told my late wife's family that she cheated on me? Anna, my late wife, died in a car accident. Person lost control of their car and ran her over, and she passed away immediately. We were both 26 at the time. It was 4 years ago, right before the pandemic. We were having a bad time as a couple. She was extremely jealous of me, but also very protective of her phone. Shortly after her death, I found out I had STD, and surprise, surprise, she was cheating on me. On the day she passed, a guy we went to college and was kind of friends with sent her messages, asking for pictures of their last encounter. And the way he talked, it seemed like it was recent, and it seemed that they talked often. I was able to get on her phone and laptop, as she didn't change her passwords because she would always ask to check my phone and I would ask for hers back. So I had a password. There wasn't much because she deleted everything or hid it very well, but the most recent messages, she obviously couldn't delete them. So everything that came after her death was still there. While looking for the pictures he asked for, I found pictures of her and him in a .rar deep in a random place at her work folders, at her laptop. In one of them, she had short hair, which she only had right after we got engaged. So she was with him for at least 3 years, out of our 6 years together. Also found pictures of 2 other guys, but I have no idea who they are. And there were no messages from either of them anywhere. I messaged a friend and told him that I knew, told him about the STD, and that I won't reveal it to anyone and want it to be kept as a secret forever. I asked him if anyone else knew, and he said that his ex knew but he would talk to her. I decided that for the sake of her parents and siblings, I would pretend she was a great person and let them have their beautiful memories with her. Anna's older brother Thomas, 34 male, is a good friend of mine to this day. I would even go as far to say we are best friends. After 2 years of my wife's passing, I was ready to date again. Thomas said that he knew the perfect girl for me, he just wanted me to be sure I was ready for something serious before introducing each other. It was his sister-in-law, Laura, 27 female. We knew each other only superficially but never really talked before our first date. I fell for her quick and hard. We started dating and about 3 months in, we were already telling each other I love yous, and I told her I was going to marry her. It has been a little less than 2 years. We are engaged and I have never been this happy. I told her all about my relationship with Anna. I still have the evidence of what she did, stored away in my computer just in case, and I showed it to Laura. She cried a little and comforted me, but I assured her I was fine and that I was over it. The problem comes with Anna's family, especially her mom and sister. Ever since Anna's passing, every time they talk about her, people want to hear me talk. They ask me about her, try to include me in conversations about her. Anna was such a good cook, right OP? I loved when she and OP would banter. You remember OP? Stuff like this. I was able to get by in the beginning by saying it was difficult for me to talk about her, that I was not ready. They let me be for a while, but ever since I started dating Laura, I couldn't use the "I'm not ready" excuse. Her friends, sister and mom get annoyed if I don't sound enthusiastic or depressed. Learn that it's easier to look depressed. Also, if I talk about Anna in any way that isn't portraying her as an angel that came down to earth to bless us with her presence, I get side-eyed. Thankfully, Thomas and her father are great guys and don't push me too hard on this. Her dad is always thankful that I attend their family gatherings, as we like to talk about our field of work. He always says he considers me a son. Her mom and sister, though, they get irritated if I try to dodge the topic of Anna. And his sister even said it out loud once that it's obvious that I didn't love Anna. She apologized after, but I mean, she isn't wrong. By the end, I didn't, and sure as heck don't now. Look, I'm over what happened. I don't feel hate for Anna anymore. I sometimes catch myself wishing she was alive, just so I didn't have to pretend anymore. But also because her death was a tragedy. A lot of people loved her. Her friends organized a reunion for her birthday, and those were incredibly hard. And even though I know her affair partner will be there, I go because I know how much she meant to those people. But this all started to get to me because it's affecting Laura. I can't say I love her in front of these people. I can't even hug her, and Anna's sister gets all moody. Her best friend stopped speaking to Laura. They were also friends. Anna's mom even came to us at Thomas' birthday party last week and asked us to stop dancing to respect her grief. She also contacted my mom and Laura's parents to say that she was incredibly disappointed that I proposed to Laura so soon, saying that we were moving too fast. It's been 4 years. Even if she wasn't a cheater, more than enough time has passed. I'm just over it, and I'm seriously considering telling all of them what happened, just to get the weight off my back. Would I be the a-hole if I did this? Now for the top comments. Looks like Anna's family is still trying to control your life, even from the grave. Maybe it's time to let go of their expectations and focus on your own happiness with Laura. You deserve it. If Thomas is a good friend and your families are intertwined, perhaps he is the one to talk with. Let him see the evidence and hear the story. I would honestly stop caring about what her mom and sister think. Maybe tell her brother just to explain why you would be distancing yourself, and that's it. Not the a-hole. I think the brother is the route to go. Show him the evidence and distance from the mom and sister. You want to reveal the truth to alleviate your own burden, but deep down, this isn't just about truth. It's about reclaiming your narrative and the control you lost when Anna cheated on you. Her family unknowingly forces you to uphold a lie that erases your pain, forcing you to live with unresolved resentment. Your silence has served their idealized memory, but it's eating away at your sense of integrity, and that suppression bleeds into your new life with Laura. What you fear most is not their judgment. It's the risk of tarnishing the only connection you have left to the person you once thought you loved. Yet that version of Anna died long before her accident, and you're still grappling with that realization. You're searching for permission to let go, but you don't need it. Exposing the truth might give you momentary relief, but it will permanently alter relationships with people you still care about, like Thomas. The question isn't whether you'd be an a-hole, it's whether you're ready for the fallout of destroying the illusion that sustains Anna's family, and if that weight is worth lifting off your shoulders. Deep down, you're unsure if exposing the truth will really free you, or if it's just another attempt to escape the pain you haven't fully processed. This is the best advice Opie is ever going to get. Since you are in a way marrying back into the family, do you really want to blow everything up? I mean, they're going to blow up everything once he does marry her. They're making comments about him not loving Anna and moving on too quickly. Those comments will never stop. It will become his and Laura's kids should have been Anna's, and on and on. Someone, Opie or Laura, is going to snap when they aren't all allowed to celebrate milestones because of grief over Anna. Next story. Am I the a-hole for breaking up with my girl because she wanted her child's father to move in with her? So I've been with this girl for 8 months, and she's a good person and stuff, but she has a child with another guy. At first, I just wanted to hook up, but we kept at it, and about 3 months into it, agreed to make it exclusive. We got along well, except recently, mid-July, when she told me about her baby's dad wanting them to have a Halloween and Christmas photo shoots with her kid, for when he's older so he can have pictures of mom and dad together with him. I'm not comfortable with that, but that's not even the bigger story. Apparently, his lease is up and he's down right now, so she's thinking about letting him live with her for a while. She told me this and I just broke up with her because this is exactly the drama people talk about. But I'm also allergic to telling people what to do with their lives. So when something doesn't suit me, I remove myself from the situation. Now she's been begging me to reconsider because it's her child's father and she can't leave him hanging. But she doesn't feel anything for him and loves me, etc. I gotta like her over our time together, but exes who share a child living together is just trouble waiting to happen. Plus, I don't want my girl to dress up with another guy for Christmas, or carve pumpkins with him, even if it's for the child's sake. I mean, I think the child should know that his parents aren't together. Co-parenting means you do stuff with the kids separately, no? Besides, something like the first day of school maybe, which happens at a precise time. But no, I guess I'm wrong according to her friends and sisters, who are already calling me names on TikTok because I'm not a real man who's secure about his woman, and all sorts of other BS, lol. I'm already over it, and I'm not going back on my decision. But just to get different perspectives, am I the a-hole here? Not the a-hole. You're just skipping to the last chapter where you end up breaking up anyway. That kind of living arrangement and holiday plans are a sure sign that her ex is trying to get back together with her. She seems easily manipulated by her ex, so with them living under the same roof, it seems likely that it will eventually happen. Best you're not in the picture when it does. Not the a-hole. Exes living together is a recipe for complications. You're avoiding potential drama. If my daughter's father asked to live with me because he was down on his luck, I would put a doghouse in the backyard for him. But that's just me. Not the a-hole, and honestly, I think you dodged a bullet. The photo shoots I can understand. It would be nice for the kid to have those sorts of pictures. But the moving in is too much. And in my opinion, pretty disrespectful to you. Her friends and sisters are showing you exactly the level of drama you could expect if you'd stayed. Exactly. The co-parenting stuff is pretty nice. The kid will benefit from it. However, OP's feelings are valid. He honestly just shouldn't date anyone with kids unless the other parent is no longer around or involved. But the moving in thing and the friend and family involvement is too much, even if OP were okay with a co-parenting relationship. Not the a-hole. She would definitely be banging him and expecting you to pay for stuff for her. It's a scam. Did you meet her on Craigslist or... The first thing that came to mind was that she's getting back with her ex, but doesn't want it to look like she's officially back because OP is the secondary backup boyfriend, aka her insurance policy, because she wants two men to give her their attention and or money. And you know, anything that OP would have gotten for her ex would have probably consumed for himself. Gas, groceries, gifts? Not only did OP escape the baggage, but he also escaped having to support an entire family that he didn't belong to, considering the ex allegedly can't afford to pay rent. Not the a-hole. Edit. Wow, took a nap and woke up to 300 plus notifications, lol. Thank you guys for offering your perspectives, which mostly seem to coincide with mine. The pictures thing was a moment, but it's the moving in that pushed me out completely. Not going back, and will probably politely avoid baby mamas from now on. Thanks again. Last story. Am I the a-hole for glowing up after my divorce and not before? I, 53 female, have been divorced from my ex-husband Larry, 54 male, for 6 years. Larry and I have 2 adult children, Steve, 27 male, and Carla, 25 female. Larry and I met in college when we were both electrical engineering students. We were both very much on the nerdy side and looked the part, but were very attracted to each other. So I thought anyway. We got married soon after we graduated and both worked as engineers. But after a few years, Larry decided he wanted to go to law school, to become a patent lawyer. In order to look the lawyer part, Larry underwent a major glow-up during this time, on pretty much all levels. Tailored clothes, fancy haircuts, designer accessories like watches, etc., along with working out to trade his dad bod for a lean gym bod. During this time, I was having / raising our small children, while taking care of about 95% of household matters because of his long working hours, all while working full-time. I admit I did not glow up along with Larry. My own appearance has always been on the plainer side. I'm not overweight, but a bit stocky, 5'5", 140 pounds. Simply cut hair, glasses, practical clothes, not much makeup. Larry loved me as his for about the first decade of our relationship. But after he started working as a lawyer, he started to become drawn to more conventionally attractive women and had several affairs. When I pressed for counseling, he said that the issues were things like my big nose and post-baby tummy pooch, not things I could fix with a simple makeover. I was getting organized to ask for a divorce when Carla was hit by a car while riding her bike. She survived and is fine now, but needed several years of intensive surgeries and rehab. In order to provide a unified front for Carla and Steve, Larry and I agreed to stay married and be as cordial as possible. He continued to see other women during this time, but by this time, I was past trying to get him to be faithful. We did separate and divorce after Carla went off to college. Larry's remarried now to a much younger woman, 33 female. In the past couple years, I've actually decided to focus more on myself, including my appearance. Now that my children are grown and out of the house and I don't have to worry about tiptoeing around a difficult husband, I finally have time and resources to do so. I didn't get a nose job or other plastic surgery like Larry had wanted, but I did updates and color my hair, started working out more, lost about 15 pounds, got a new wardrobe, and actually started dating. I don't have a steady partner yet, but regularly go to age-appropriate singles events and go on dates. Unfortunately, my children detest the new me. In particular, they blame me for the divorce and are angry that I didn't glow up to accommodate Larry, saying I was too selfish and lazy to do so when it mattered. My son Steve is getting married soon and says he is too angry to invite me to the wedding. Carla's gone low contact with me. I had great relationships with both of them until I started my own grown-up process a couple years ago, which was a few years after Larry and I finalized our divorce. Steve and Carla have told me that the only way to fix this, the only thing that would be fair, is to go back to the way I was before, meaning stop coloring my hair, dress in my former plain/frumpy way, and stop dating. They say they're most upset about the dating, and that is not fair for me to be looking for a new partner. So am I the a-hole for everything I have done here, for not improving my appearance until after I got divorced? I really don't think Larry would have been faithful to me, no matter how much I twisted myself in knots. I've felt I did the best I could, given the energy and resources I had. And while it may seem selfish, I do believe I deserve to have my own life now. But I am open to other opinions if I have done something wrong here. Now for the comments. Not the a-hole at all. What the heck did I just read? Your kids sound like spoiled, entitled selfish people. So they blame you for the divorce even though their dad cheated? Focus on yourself and your own life, and go completely no contact with your children. You can love them from a distance. You spent years sacrificing your own happiness for theirs. It's finally your time to be happy. I don't want to go no contact with them, but I just think it's very odd that they only started blaming me for the divorce once I started improving my appearance. I do agree that I have a right to be happy now, whatever that looks like within reason, and that I don't have to defer to their opinion. Why do your kids think they have a say in what you wear? This is so strange. That's not normal and it's not okay. If you go back to the old you, does X go back too? What's the endgame here? Because X is married, surely the adult whiner's children know this? They think that I'm basically rubbing it in my ex's face and theirs that I never cared about him because I couldn't be bothered to fix myself up until after we were divorced. I've explained that it just had to do with time and bandwidth that I have now, that I'm single and the kids are grown, but they aren't buying it. And no, of course the ex doesn't go back. The kids just think I deserve to be alone and frumpy. I guess because I wasn't a perfect wife in my marriage. I'm genuinely concerned for the lack of values your children exhibit. You sound like you still need to work on your self-worth. I cannot imagine sacrificing as much as you have for your children to turn around and treat you this way. If my child said what your son did to me, there would be zero chance I'd attend their wedding. You are entitled to feelings and to hurt, and the things your children are saying to you are cruel. The adult children sound very shallow. I can't imagine growing up in a house where mom carries all the domestic duties and dad is off having affairs was a great experience. They seem to have no issue with dad being married to a much younger person now, but have an issue with mom living for herself for once? Sounds like they're blaming mom for dad's affairs. Not the a-hole. Those kids should definitely get therapy.